This week on the Topic Podcast, we talk about how DJing shaped how I stream today, what people don't see behind the scenes, the changes in platforms and algorithms, balancing a content creator life, and taking advice from other creators. So as some of you guys know, I DJed for about 10 years. And over those 10 years, I learned a lot. I learned a hell of a lot over those 10 years. And a lot of things I learned today, I managed to put into what I do now when it comes to streaming and doing content creation. When it came to reading crowds, reading a room, controlling the energy, filling dead air. Filling dead air is a big thing as well. And being able to talk to yourself on a microphone. That is, I think being able to talk to myself is probably the thing I learned the most, because when it comes to streaming, the one thing that makes or breaks somebody when they become a streamer is, are they going to talk when they're making content? There's so many times I'll be on Twitch and I'm flicking through different live streamers and I'll check like the bottom few, yeah, and I'll click on their content and then they'll just be sat there saying nothing. Now, if you're going to sit there in silence, I'm not going to stick around, You've got to learn to talk to yourself. That is possibly one of the most important things you could do as a streamer. If no one's in your chat, just talk. Explain what you're doing. So if I'm playing, I don't know, we never really played, but say if I'm playing Dead by Daylight, I'll go, right, okay, I'm going to go to this gen and you're going to say, right, okay, I want to mess around with this guy. I'm going to do this. I want to do that. And just explain your thought process, as you go. Because dead silence is not entertaining at all, But yeah, I learned all that from DJing. I learned how to talk, I like to call it waffle, how to waffle on, yeah. But there is still a massive difference between a live crowd, IRL, in real life, to chat. It was such a jump. I mean, going from being in a room with over 200-300 people dancing away, where you can see they're all enjoying your music, to just words on a screen. It is very different. It's the same but different, because once again, I can figure out how to keep people entertained. I've just got a better idea on what I'm doing. But at the same time, I physically can't see people's reactions. Unless people are typing their reactions in the chat. Because a lot of time these days, a lot of people on Twitch are lurking. I'm lurking all the time. I'm not exactly always in the chat. I love every single one of you, though. Every lurker and every person who does comment, I treat you all the same. I did step away from DJing, and it was for my own good. I was talking about stepping away from DJing for years. Like, I think just after COVID, I was thinking to myself, I really need to change things. Like, I started taking streaming and content creation more seriously after COVID. COVID just opened my eyes, I saw a different side of life that wasn't just playing music all the time. Like, I'm so glad I stepped away from that. But like, it was affecting my mental health. Like, I'd be drinking a lot. That would be a big thing. Drinking a lot, and I've got no willpower when it comes to drink. I don't call myself an alcoholic or anything, but if someone offers me a pint, I'll take it. A free pint's a free pint. Helps the night go down easier as well. Because what I thought, and it did work this way, is if I'm on a similar level to everyone else that I'm DJing to, I've got a better idea of what kind of music to play. If I'm still cold, sober, and bored, everyone's going to feel that vibe through the music. So yeah, I'd have a couple of drinks every night, but like doing that like 5, 6, 7 nights a week, it's a lot. And because I did that 5, 6, 7 nights a week, I've now got tinnitus, or tinnitus as people call it. So I've got like a constant noise in my ear. And I will say, since I stopped, it's gotten a lot better. In fact, sometimes I barely notice it now. I have to really listen. I still have to have like the telly on or my laptop on before I go to bed, because when the room's dead silent, it just drives me absolutely insane. There's been times where when I was DJing and the tinnitus was so bad that, you know, I'd get back home and on my nights off when I'd be trying to sleep, the ringing would be so bad I couldn't sleep and I would just be crying. I never really spoke about that. I never really told people how bad it was. But and it does flare up now and again as well. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm going to have to live with that for the rest of my life, and it's probably going to get worse again over the years. But we all have our coping mechanisms. So like I say, I put YouTube on. And it's difficult because when you're with a partner, right, who's a light sleeper and can't have YouTube on, you know, they can't hear it. So, like, I used to then, if I would have someone over, or if I had my partner over, if I was going out with someone at the time, I would, you know, put some earphones in or some headphones in. But then that wouldn't be very comfy to sleep with, I'm not going to lie. But like I say, we do what we can. And life likes to throw some curveballs. Life isn't perfect. So we just make do with what we've got. Yeah. Back to DJing, though. I've been offered a fair few gigs since my retirement. Now, like, I'm still DJing now and again, but like, there's a lot of gigs that there's a few gigs that I've taken on since I've quit DJing. But there's a lot of gigs that I've just full on just went, no, I'm not doing that. I think my anxiety, I've been away from DJing for so long now that my anxiety would just go through the roof, you know? I've been offered like a radio position, so maybe I'm thinking I could take that on. But at the same time, I don't know. Radio sounds like a good thing I could do. Good hours as well. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but maybe one day soon you could have Ben Parknev, the radio presenter. So yeah, that's one thing I possibly could be doing this year. Another thing I could be doing this year, I'm looking out for voice acting roles. Now, I don't know what I would do with voice acting, but there's a lot of people out there that keep saying, oh, you should go out and do some voice acting. And I'm like, well, I've never saw myself as a voice actor, but it's something interesting to do. And I thought, you know what? I'll try it once. Try it once or twice. And if it doesn't work out, we won't try it again. But at least I've tried it. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Time will tell. So that's probably a project that we could be working on. Maybe. As for the project that I'm currently working on that I can't tell you guys about yet, it's a super, super secret project. That was supposed to be coming out in February. Now, I've been working very hard. Like, I'm waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, going to bed 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm working all the way through that time. Yeah. But that's because what I'm doing is basically, right, I'll stream. There's some days I'll stream, there's some days I'm not. But I'm still working regardless, because what I'm doing is I'm recording and editing videos. Yeah. In regard to that, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get ahead of myself when it comes to scheduling posts. So at the moment, it is the 16th of January. And currently, as it stands, I've got Monday's post on my main channel up, Monday next week's post on my channel up, and then the last Friday of the month's video scheduled. Yes. The only thing I need to record is Friday next week's video, and then I've got the whole month sorted out. And then all those videos have shorts and TikToks to go with them, because it's good to post a short and TikToks. I mean, like, I post on YouTube, I post on Instagram, I post on TikTok all at the same time with the vertical format, yeah. And I do that with the videos, like from clips from the videos, because it helps promote that video. At least I hope it does. Anyway, that's the intention, you know. The videos aren't doing that well because my content has changed vastly, but, you know, give it time, and I've got a feeling it'll start doing well. Yeah. Once people start coming to YouTube and start watching the stuff, I mean, the YouTube videos are not doing too bad. I'm getting like 100 views per video, which isn't great when it comes to people who've got like millions of views. But, you know, for looking for where I wanted my videos to end up this year, I think it's doing all right so far. I'd be happy if they start getting into the thousands, but you can't have everything you want, If they get into the thousands, I'll be very happy. Very happy. Because then I can say there's all this extra hard work that I'm putting in is worth it. Because currently it's not worth it. I'm more investing my time. But this is why we're streaming, because streaming is where most of my money comes from. I think about 70% of the money I get is from streaming. 20% is probably from TikTok, and then the rest is from YouTube, which isn't a lot, but yeah. So speaking about like editing and working hard, basically, I want to tell you guys a little bit of like what I do. I'm going to give you guys a behind the scenes on like how we keep the content and the streams rolling. Now, what I found, and this is not going to work for everyone, I found doing a daily to-do list, right, really helps. I use Discord channels, right? Because I do it's like body doubling, where I have Discord channels in a private server with some friends of mine, and because I know that they can see it, I want to work a bit harder. Does that make sense? It's kind of like when an ADHD person joins a video call, and for some reason, whenever you join a video call, we start doing stuff and becoming busy. It's mental, but it's an actual thing. If you've ever found that every time you're on the phone and you just start making the bed and tidy in the house, that's a massive ADHD trait right there. I wish I knew that. But now, ever since I got told about that, I use that to my advantage. So on these days where I'm really struggling to get work done, I'll just sit in a voice call. I'll just sit in a voice call and I'll just try and get all my work done that way, And I find it works. I have noticed my output of work increasing by tenfold. It's incredible. I can't recommend it enough. But yeah, so like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll wake up at 6, usually 5. It depends on the day, depends on how I slept. But I'll try not to do anything until 7 o'clock. If it just means lying in bed for an hour, I'll just give myself a nice, easy time. If I wake up and I force myself to do anything, not much is going to get done that day, But then I'll get up, I'll edit some stuff. I don't like to record first thing in the mornings. I mean, who wants to record videos and try and be lively, right, as soon as you walked up? No one wants to do that. No. So I like to edit a few videos. Like I mainly do shorts, so because my brain's still trying to engage. My brain's still trying to wake up. So I'll get like a couple of little videos done in the morning. So maybe some shorts from live streams. Like the night before, I'll go in. Like this morning, for example, I woke up and I took a couple of shorts from the stream last night, because the stream last night is still fresh in my mind. And then I woke up and I edited some longer form content. I edited some goofy gorillas, which is from a stream a while ago, but I wanted to make that a long form content because it was a nice video. We got to collaborate with some great people: Haunted Raptor, Hallow, I Am Finn. Lurex joined in, wasn't in the VC, but I did sneak in the code for him. I did sneak in the game code, which I thought was quite funny. And then we had a new creator joining us called Wet Meatloaf, and they're lovely. I do really enjoy their content, and I really enjoyed playing games with them, and hopefully we'll play games with them again soon. We'll see. But yeah, I did that, and now what I'll do is, obviously I'm recording this now, so I'll do this for, say, like, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Spend the rest of the day editing the video up until... Well, today I've got to start. Yeah, I've got to start my TikTok stream at 5, because we always do a TikTok warm up stream. It just lets people know, especially who don't know me. It lets people know that we're doing something tonight. Then we head over to Twitch at 6 o'clock and say, like, what are we doing? We're doing Ark Raiders, which is, I don't know if it's my kind of game. We'll find out. But then we're going to do Phasmophobia with Vic the Viking. And I've never played with Vic the Viking before. By the time this video goes out, by the way, this would have all happened. So you can let me know how that stream went. In the future. But I'm looking forward to it. Vic the Viking's partnered with Phasmophobia as well. So they should be, from the sounds of it, they're very much an expert when it comes to Phasmo. And I just hope, I don't take it too seriously, because I'm not a serious person, as we all know. But I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, then we'll probably be doing that until 1, maybe 2 in the morning. I don't know. I need to message him actually and find out how long he wants to go on for. I know he wants to start at 8:30. So like, even if we finished at 11, 12, that'd still be good. It's up to them though. They asked if we wanted to do something together. So I'm the one that messaged them to remind them, going, hey, you said you wanted to collab. Do you want to do something? Because you've got to do that sometimes. Us streamers, we're very forgetful. Yeah. Once again, this is why I've got reminders constantly. You should see my reminders as well. It's an absolute mess. Like, I understand it, but like, I've got every day. So like Monday, and then I've got like a list of notes for Monday, and then Tuesday I've got a list of notes for Tuesday. Stuff that I've got to do. I write down foods that I've got to eat on those days. So like, say like, oh, okay, on this day, by the way, this goes out of date. Make sure you eat this. Because I know I'll see it. It's not streaming related, but I know I'll see it on the list. And yeah, make sure I hate wasting food. Make sure it doesn't go to waste. But I hate wasting food. I don't know if you guys are the same. I don't mind eating out of date food. Like if it's something like milk, I won't have out of date milk. And eggs, I won't have out of date eggs, because stuff like that, you can't tell it's out of date until you've either drank it or eaten it. You can't tell if the milk's out of date until it's in your mouth and it's lumpy. Or you can't tell that the eggs are out of date until you've bitten into it and it tastes rotten, But like other things, like if it's frozen, I really don't mind eating frozen out of date food. There's a running joke that I was, and it's not a joke, it actually happened. During COVID, we had a chest freezer, and just in case like the shops got really bad, we filled that chest freezer full of frozen food. Like we were like prepared for the apocalypse kind of like level of food. It was quite funny when you think about it, but at the same time, we did the right thing. We were very prepared, and we filled it with frozen food, and then we forgot about it. Fast forward 5 years later. We're clearing out the garage, and then we realise there's a chest freezer here. Bear in mind, it's still on. The chest freezer still works. And we're like, oh, okay. And we're looking through all the food, and obviously, it's all out of date. I mean, there was a big box of burgers. I think it was like 50 patties, all dated for 2021. Now, bear in mind, these patties would have been made in 2020 during COVID. So... I ate burgers. I ate them all, right? They were fine, and they actually tasted quite nice, but I just sat there and ate them. They were fine. I just had to, they were very frozen. They were covered in frost and stuff, but I had to get like a knife and just chip away at them. I felt like I was an Arctic archaeologist, like But yeah, they were fine. Oh, I want burgers now. No, I'm being good. I'm trying to be on a diet right now. In fact, here's one for you. So at the moment, currently, I'm trying to diet right now. I'm doing meal prep. If you know what that means. So it's basically, instead of making your meals every day separately, I'm trying to make 4 or 5 meals in one day. And then what I'll do is I'll just go into the fridge. So I'll put them in plastic containers and put them in the fridge. And that saves me a hell of a lot of time. Yeah. I mean, I have to sit there and make it, but it means I'm going to take more time making the food nicer, because I'm not spending loads of individual moments doing it. I'm just doing it all at the same time. And then I bang in the fridge. I mean, I don't even warm up the food. It's just rice, mince, and then I've got peas, sweet corn, mushrooms, and peppers in there, with obviously spices as well. Oh, and I've added sunflower seeds as well. But it's nice. I have that every day, and then to make it different every day, I add a different sauce to it. So I added a mango sauce once, which was quite nice, and then I use sweet chili, which is what I use the most, and then I use like a cranberry sauce, which was weird. And yeah, I've tried to keep that meal very plain. I've tried to keep it as plain as possible so that I can add a different sauce to every day, so every day it tastes vastly different, and that works for me. Because obviously having the same meal every day, that's going to get boring. And you're not going to want to eat it. You know, it's not going to help you lose weight. And quite frankly, I'm not losing weight at the moment. But that's because this meal prep stuff that I'm doing works in conjunction of... Because obviously this meal prep stuff works alongside you exercising. Now, I haven't started exercising yet because I'm still trying to get ahead of myself with the schedules, like I've said before. But once I've caught up, I'm going to be on it. I am totally hoping to get myself totally caught up so that on Monday, I'm going to be able to start training again. And that's a cool thought. I'm going to start running again. And I'm going to try and get myself in the fittest shape of my life this year. It's going to be long. It's going to take a while. But if I can do it during COVID, I could do it now. You know? For a bit of context there, do you know during COVID when, you know, a lot of people, they didn't get active and stuff, so everyone just gained weight? Well, I did the opposite. I got bored. Like, I can't just sit in the house and do nothing. And I wasn't like a massive gamer back then, you know? I didn't really do stuff like that. So I back then, I was just learning to train my ADHD brain to do things the way I wanted to do. And I managed to train my brain into being obsessed with fitness. Yeah. I can only be obsessed with one thing at a time. Right. And yeah, I managed to get obsessed with fitness and, you know, yeah, the weight dropped for me. I went from 20 stone down to 15 stone. And I ran all the time. I had really bad shin splints. Shin splints is when, like, on your shin, like, if you touch it, it's like, oh, it's like painful. It doesn't go away. But yeah, like, I ran, I think it was like 10 kilometers every other day. And it was great. And I was constantly beating my own personal records. And I just want to do that again. You know, I want goals that I know I can achieve fitness wise. I'm very much looking forward to it. And there's other people that I know as well. They're also getting into fitness. And last time when I did fitness, though, it was all cardio. Nothing but cardio. So I think this time I'm going to do some weight training. And I've got weights at home, you know. So it's something I could definitely work on. Yeah. We'll see what happens, though. You know. Hopefully next time I do this podcast, I've started training. I'll let you guys know. Now, I pose a question to you guys. So what did you do during COVID? Did you do anything you were proud of? Or did you just take the opportunity to rest? Which you are entitled to. If you just wanted to lie around and do nothing, that's fine. That is totally fine. You probably deserve that. A lot of you guys work hard and you thought, you know what, I'm just going to take this opportunity like a holiday. Yeah. I wish that during COVID I started streaming, because I wasn't streaming then. I was doing social media, but not like I am now. Like, I was making the odd TikTok post, but it wasn't serious, you know. Not like this now. And like I say this now, like, this is still a mess, and this is always going to be a mess until this is sorted out. But I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I could have streamed back then. And I feel like I could have done a lot better, because basically it was a captive audience, wasn't it? Everyone was stuck inside by the computer, if you had a computer. And I always wonder, where would I be now if I started streaming then? I don't know. Since COVID as well, I feel like platforms have changed. I feel like YouTube's changed. YouTube's evolved. I feel like TikTok's changed. Every platform that we used to go on, the algorithm is just so much different. You could post a video. The videos that I'm posting now, right? You could post them and you could get so many more views. But because there's more people out there with higher production and they've got more followers, they're more well known, it's just so much harder to get discovered now. And the algorithm works against you. Like, at the moment, out of the last 10 posts that I've made, only 2 even reached over 1,000 views. I used to get views well over 10,000. And I don't know, I just don't hate that anymore. And I get like people's tastes change, but like I say, I think it's because TikTok changed. My YouTube algorithm, on the other hand, though, it's all over the place. And I uploaded a video the other day, and it got 60 views on the short. Now, you usually get about 200, 300 minimum, by the way, minimum. But when it got 60 views, they didn't even try to push that out. Those 60 views are people physically going onto my channel and clicking on it rather than being recommended on the FYP. You know, and I don't get it. I had another video on TikTok where I went all the way to the Greg's restaurant in Newcastle, and you know, I've went out and spent money on this so I could make the video, and my video got flagged it got taken down for alcohol abuse, and I had a sip of cider. You're allowed to drink alcohol on TikTok, so I reported it. Like I appealed the video, and you know, the appeal came back, and I won the appeal. But by then, though, the video's bugged. TikTok need to do a thing where if a video gets reported and you win the appeal, they need to then boost that video. They don't boost it, but they should boost it as like an apology, maybe, because now that video now sits at less than 100 views on TikTok, by the way, because the video got reported. And it's not just that video as well. Every video I've had that got reported, right, and I've won the appeal, have flopped. It makes people think, why should I bother spending money trying to make nice content when you can make an effortless video and get 1 million views? It was a good video as well. I mean, I had a lot of fun doing it, and a lot of people who did see it, people saw it on Instagram, and it did well on YouTube as well. And you know, they enjoyed it, but no, apparently the people on TikTok aren't allowed to enjoy it. No, very annoying, very annoying. So I set myself some big New Year's resolutions for this year. I said I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to become healthier. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to eat better. Yeah. I'm going to drink less this year. I would go out and have a drink once a week, right? And I'm not going to lie, I do like to have my drinks. You know, I drink a lot. It's just the way I am, right? I go out and party, right? Okay. I work hard through the week, so I indulge. But I'm going to either change that to once a fortnight or once a month. You know? So it's something for me to look forward to. Yeah. I've said to myself that I'm going to post every single day. And when I say every single day, I mean I'm going to post on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts every day. But then I'm also going to post on Blue Sky and Twitter. I'm going to make a status on Threads as well. I might not do Threads every day because my Threads is dead. But I want to do Twitter and Blue Sky every single day for at least 3 months. Right, and for at least until after March, and just so I can look back at the analytics and say, right, okay, in the last 90 days, is it good me posting every day, but the quality not being 100%, or is it better me posting every 3 or 4 days, and the shorts being that much better? I don't know. But we're going to find out, though. And I'm going to look at the analytics. And I'll let you guys know as well on what that's like. Same with Blue Sky and Twitter as well. I want to see if I get more followers on Twitter and Blue Sky. I mean, I've got 13,000 followers on Blue Sky. I've got a lot of followers on Blue Sky. Twitter, on the other hand, though, I haven't even got 1,000. I just don't know how to get people to follow me on Twitter. Most people don't use Twitter. That's the problem. Most people, it's only other streamers and maybe celebrities and news outlets that use Twitter, you know? That's what I found anyway, mainly. Another New Year's resolution as well is that I'm going to release my my secret project. I'm going to finish the secret project. I can't tell you what it is. I wish I could tell you guys what it is. Maybe in the next podcast I'll be able to give you guys a sneak preview of what's going on. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the future brings? I think you guys will enjoy it though. I'm very proud of what I've achieved so far. So with all these different things that I'm doing, so like DJing a little bit on the side, the project, streaming, content creating, etc., etc. It's very hard to find a balance because at the moment, as it stands, I don't have any kind of social life right now apart from sitting in the VC and talking to my friends while I'm working. You know. It's the 16th of January at the moment, and I've not stepped outside the house ever this year. And I take vitamin D tablets because obviously I need it if I'm not going outside. But yeah, it's not the greatest situation. But sacrifices have to be made to achieve your goals sometimes, and I am so determined to get stuff done. Like, I am psyched. There's bad days, and you know, you're allowed to have bad days, and I know that now. But this is why I'm trying to get ahead of myself once again, so that once I have a bad day, it doesn't derail everything that I'm doing, and I don't feel guilty about maybe cancelling a stream or not uploading a video. You know, I'm just way ahead. It's a nice feeling. I've said that a few times, but it's a nice feeling to be getting ahead of myself. Because it also means as well, like, if I want to take a week off, I can take a week off. There is also a pressure about being online all the time. Like, if I take a day off, like this Saturday, I've got planned, well, it'll be the Saturday just gone for yous, but this Saturday I've got planned 2 days off in a row for myself. Saturday and Sunday. I know, shock horror, right? I'll probably end up editing or streaming one of those days, or recording, but you know, I know because I'm not going to be active on social media over the weekend, people are going to think I'm dead. You know, I always get messages of people, "Oh, you haven't been live today. Are you okay?" And then I get comments of people on my TikTok videos going, "When are you going live next? I really want to talk. I really want to see you." And you know, I feel guilty about not being live, especially when I got a comment not long ago, and they went, "Hi, I'm having a really bad time right now. Could you please go live?" And the fact that like someone's comfort, the fact that someone's comfort when they're not feeling good is my live stream. It means I'm doing everything that I intended. This is why we started streaming in the first place, was to entertain people and occupy people. And I try and keep my streams and my Discord server, I try and keep it a safe space. And you know what? That's what it's becoming. You know, that's an amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling. That's a massive achievement. If I died tomorrow, I could die happy knowing that's what we achieved. But there is that guilt not being online, and I have had to learn to live with that guilt. You know, I can't not feel slightly guilty when I'm not live, and I can't not feel slightly guilty when I cancel streams. You know, because I know people do actually get upset, but it's just something we live with. You know, it's a learning process. It's a slow process, but we get there in the end. Yeah. And you know, there's a lot of advice that people give me when it comes to streaming, and it's funny because there's a lot of creators out there, and don't get me wrong, they're big creators that I've had that I've had advice from. But what I've learned is that just because someone's big and successful doesn't mean their advice is going to work for you. If that makes sense. Someone was telling me, I should just stream once a week. And this guy is a big streamer. You should just go stream once a week. Just make more videos and stream once a week. And that was nice for him. And you know what? He got really pissy when I said I couldn't do that. He's like, of course you can. Why are you saying you can't? And then he started like talking down to me. He's like, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I can't. And he went, well, why can't you? He's like, because I need to make money. And like my life, if I go down to one stream a week, I will not make money. I'll make a little bit of money, but that's it. Must be nice to be able to be big enough to say, oh, I can stream once a week and then make enough. It's slightly annoying when people, and then, and people don't listen to you when you say, no, I thank you very much, but I'm not going to do that. And then when people don't listen to, like, they don't get the hint, and they just go on and on. I had to remove a lot of people from my life that just don't respect me in that way, where they don't feel like my opinion is valid. If that makes sense. Especially in streaming spaces. I've worked with a lot of other streamers, and, there's a lot of streamers where they don't take you seriously. And, I will sit and listen. I don't like I say, I don't have to do something. Like, I don't have to take someone's advice, but I'll always listen to someone's advice, and I'll take it on the chin, if that makes sense. People are difficult. People are very difficult, and it's frustrating as well. One bit of advice I did take on, which I appreciate, is that it's okay to pivot and change direction. So say, for example, we used to do a thing where every time I got a subscriber, we would dance and bop around and stuff, and people really enjoyed that. I may bring that in for like special ones now and again, but we don't do that anymore. And a lot of people complained, but what I found is that, say if I was playing a game and then something was important happening in the game, or we were talking about something important, and then I'd get a subscription, and then I would have to start dancing. It was very disruptive. And yeah, it's entertaining for people, but like, it takes away from us already doing what we're doing, and I'm already trying to entertain people with something else. So I feel like there's a time and a place or something like that, but doing it for every single stream, it gets boring as well, Some people are just like, God damn it, man, I'm just trying. They just want to like listen or just want to watch rather than having to see me do something every now and again, Things get repetitive. I also learned as well, progress isn't always loud or visible, especially when it comes to content creation. And progress isn't always immediate as well. Like, my videos on YouTube have gotten better. That hasn't shown massively, but I know that they're doing better now. My content over the past 2 months has just improved by tenfold. And it's not immediately obvious. I know it has, though, and it is going to show eventually. But yeah, and the work that I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, working hard, I feel like people don't realize the amount of work I do behind the scenes, but it is showing. People don't realize the work I'm doing behind the scenes. It's not visible, but I'm doing well when it comes to the work, and I'm very happy with myself. How do you say, mentally? I'm very happy with I'm happy with myself and the work that I've achieved, because I've just proved to myself as well that I can do that. People always say streamers are lazy. Streamers, you need to get a real job. You don't know what a real job is until you've done this and you've done that. And we mentioned this on the podcast last time with Pastel. But like, as a streamer, you have to work 3 times as hard for 3 times less the pay. And we do this because it's what works for us. I can't work a normal job, but that's because of my anxiety and depression. Like, there's times where I'll have a whole week and I just can't leave the house, and to a normal job per se, that's no good. They require you to be punctual and, turn up on time, and they need you here, there, everywhere. And yeah, it's just no good for me. So I have to be my own boss and find something that works. And streaming, thankfully, is something that works. But yeah, going back to again, like I said, I'm trying to get ahead of myself with these YouTube videos so that on a week where I don't feel good, we can sit and just relax, no stress. Go, right, okay, you're not having a good day today. You don't have to edit a video. You can do it another day. And that's good. On the next podcast, we are going to bring in a guest. We're going to bring in a content creator, and we are going to ask them some very difficult questions. If you guys have any questions for me or any content creator friends that I bring on, please let me know in the comments, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere. Write them in the comments and we will answer them in the next podcast. Thank you very much for supporting this podcast as well. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments. I do see them, and I do reply to every single comment as well that's made on the YouTube channel. I do really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you very much for coming along. I'll see you all in another 2 weeks because we're doing this fortnightly now, it looks like. Bye, guys. See ya.